Psychological girls love. It seems to have two 1-star ratings and a 10-star rating. Queer artist, manga arter, trans flag in bio. How do I get my hands on this fucking manga? How do I summon translation people? English portfolio. Okay, born 1992 in Atlanta. Wait, hold on. What did I fucking... Okay. Marina Lisa Komiya. Born 1992 in Atlanta in the United States and currently based in Japan. Komiya's focus is to explore new methods of reproduction through various mediums such as installation, biotechnology, performance, video works, and management of spaces. What? All of their works use their own body to practice queer theory. A few examples of their works are the management of flower shops selling flowers that absorbed Komiya's own sweat. Reproducing Garden was another project, a film in which they created a garden as an alternative form of a household. The film compares residential land on which development is impermissible due to current Japanese building codes to law restricting same-sex marriage. They are also a host of Queer Artists platform. Well, this person seems unfathomably interesting. The human race survived without being extinct till today by only one method, which is to produce offspring, for 7 million years. Today, sexual intercourse between men and women is the only way to reproduce for the human race. However, I know there are people who drop out from that method. A widely known example is sexual minority. But I feel that there are many more reproduction refugees strayed from that method and floating around than we imagine. In this statement, queer is a word to express all the sexualities that are not heteronormative and the existing people who are not heteronormative. People whose queer couldn't get on board of sexual intercourse and heteronormativity always have gone extinct and never have been archived in the history, like the people and the animals who could not get on board Noah's Ark. I've never read something where I felt like somebody was so on the same page as me in such a fucking strange manner. All the living things, not just humans, are designed to dedicate the largest amount of the energy into reproduction. Reproduction seems to be the most important agenda of the living things. But why? All the human race's instincts, desire for food, sleep, and sex, look like it purposes to drive people to eat to extend their lives for the day, sleep to extend their lives for the next day, reproduce to extend their lives for the future. If extending life is thought of as a way to progress and create the time, I wonder if it is possible to expand the issues of the reproduction and the research surrounding the queer studies in order to re-recognize and expand it as a philosophical thesis of time theory. I like this. The identity of this activity is to see this problem as something common for the human race, to renew and direct the spotlight on the archives of the rejected activities and existences in the male-dominated art history, as well as to recognize this issue as a time theory and making attempts to ponder, access, and archive the history of the bodies that have been put to extinct, equaling queer bodies and queerness, and to set it as a theme to explore new methods of reproduction, which excludes conventional method of sexual reproduction, have a possibility to abolish the divisive and subjective aspects of the conventional queer studies, and feminism cannot seem to escape. The ultimate agenda is to find out the purpose of the reproduction that is the same as the issue of the time by exploring various mediums and methods in the free and unlimited world of art. I am 100% on board for this. Holy moly! Is this a J-Reg video? I can't read this, but it looks awesome. Invasive ale? Where can I get invasive ale? This is the beer brewing installation which developed during Komiya's 12-week residency at Studio Voltaire. Komiya has explored the history and relationship between English horticultural practices and the eradication of weeds, finding parallels between the history of invasive weeds and migration to England. I'm not entirely sure I understood how that, like, what that beer is made of or what it tastes like, but I'm very curious about it. This is a reconstruction. All of it is a reconstruction. Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale. Whenever war breaks out, the female body, or what appears to be it, will be colonized. A world where drones remotely spray genetically engineered sperm for ethnic cleansing. Just imagining such a dystopian future is frightening. Yeah, thanks for fucking giving me that one. But I have a feeling that it is really starting to happen. From a science fiction perspective, raising the question of what kind of future will be brought to humans by wartime and reproduction-related technologies that are evolving day by day, and whether such a dystopian future is possible. It's definitely possible now that you've put the idea out there. Oof. Oof. This is not self-replication. This is the site-specific installation queering, heteronormative reproduction of mankind, and gives a new perspective of the alternative method of reproduction. In this project, Komiya is culturing their own cells at a love hotel, which is a type of short-stay hotel for sexual activities popular in Japan. In Japan, same-sex marriage is still restricted, and using a love hotel with same-sex can also be refused. That's wild. Love hotels are a space for the heteronormative sexual intercourse and the symbol for heteronormativity. I guess so. Even though the hotel is designed for sexual intercourse, the method for reproduction, the hotel is a space of manipulated death. At the hotel, more than 100 billion sperm cells are dying every day. Birth control is the most important technology for humans. I actually heavily agree with that. That's something I never thought, but I'm realizing is true as fuck. Wait, I did think that. I put it in Kusomega. Never mind. I'm a genius. Since they invented contraceptive devices, it has become possible to manipulate life and death. In that context, the biolab is the room of manipulated life. Komiya reverses the room of death to the room of life with the culture of their own cells, reproducing as a queer with cloning. Culturing cells, Komiya is streaming the microscope video of the growing cell to a public monitor in the red light district around the hotel. They are trying to reverse not only aspects of life and death, but also the private and public. This project is a biotechnical protest by a queer. That it definitely is. If nothing else, it is most certainly that. You've heard of protest art, but protest science is a lot rarer, I think. Okay, this is the one I want. I want the manga. I forgot that I literally forgot I got to this because I wanted to read a Yuri manga. What the flying actual fuck? All right, reproductive garden project overview. For this project, we are using the concept of a regulated house. The work compares residential land on which development is impermissible due to current Japanese building costs to law restricting same-sex marriage. Okay, that's an interesting metaphor. In Japan, same-sex marriage is still prohibited. In Japanese, we wrote for household. This kanji means house and this one means garden. If we could have built a house here, we could have had our own household, but we cannot build a house. So if we erase the letters of house, the letter of garden will remain. Since that's the case, as people who fall in between the cracks of the rule, we will attempt to develop and explore a garden as an alternative form of the place to live. I love the sound of this. I'm thinking Ghibli Museum, right? Like Ghibli Studio. As artists who have themselves embraced queerness and deviated from heteronormativity and who have been overlooked by the same institutions, project members Marina Lisa Komiya and Chihiro Suzuki rent the land prohibited for redevelopment by the Building Standards Act and search for alternative ways to build their house as the garden. At the garden, we are let weeds grow. The project is ongoing at the real site and shown as experiments, documentary installation, and so on. Where are they getting the money to do this stuff? Like, who's funding these? I don't want to say crazy because I don't want to diminish. They are like doing a naked wedding in the middle of a like lot. This looks like fun as fuck. This person knows how to live life. I'm definitely feeling that. This person knows how to live life in this world. If we're going to be stuck in a capitalist society, this is the way to be stuck in a capitalist society. Like, I would encourage everybody, if you can figure out how to make this possible for yourself. Komiya Flower Shop, okay. Komiya ran a flower shop for a year. The flowers sold at the shop absorbed Komiya's sweat. The concept is based on the relationship between two facts. Genetic differences that makes other sex body odor more attractive, and universal human habits to giving flowers as a gift. By associating these two facts, Komiya is trying to question the possibility of reproduction for those who can't or don't reproduce. Through this project, they tried queering the typical form of an exhibition and created an unusual performance through store management. So the theory here, you want these flowers because my sweat will turn you on more, specifically because I am other gendered. If this sold flowers to straight people, I'm fucking amazed. If straight Japanese people with money gave Komiya enough money to run this for a year where they sweat into flowers and sold them, that's fucking lifted. Let's see the flower shop. I mean, it's a cute store. I could see just going here because you wanted flowers regardless of the whole sweat gimmick.